Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. Welcome back to another round of Twitter users treating fictional characters like they're real people and treating real people like they're fictional characters and being mad at you for knowing the difference. Now, what is the topic today? Well, it is Wuthering Waves. Apparently people are very upset about one content creator and his significant other who shared a screenshot of fan service from this game. Yes, people are mad about fan service in a gacha game. It's pretty much like a vegetarian walking into a steakhouse and getting mad that there's so much meat. So what are we talking about in particular with the content creators? Well, we have this individual named Fob, who obviously invests into gacha games, and you can see he had a marine banner, and as soon as I saw that, I knew he was immediately right about everything going on in this situation. But what did he do? Well, he made this post sharing a screenshot that had fan service from Wuthering Waves. That's it. And as you can see, almost 3 million views and hundreds of comments, hundreds of quotes. People are fuming about this. And this quote right here in particular is a good segue for the rest of this video. It says, "The amount of likes, I feel bad for every normal person in this fandom, and from the looks of it, there are only probably 5 of them." This is great. We're now going to look at the normal people in this fandom and how they're responding to this tweet sharing fan service from this gacha game. We'll start off strong right here. "Get a effing life. Hello." Which typically anytime someone says this, it's projection, because if someone has a life, they're not wasting their time screaming at people over fan service in a gacha game. Then you have this saying, "That's seriously the first thing people are checking. Go shower and touch some grass." Again, projection, people talking about fan service in a gacha game. Fork found in the kitchen. It shouldn't be surprising to you. Then you have this individual with 2,000 likes saying, "Where can I find Wuthering Waves fans that aren't addicted to porn?" Well, I think that's a bit hyperbolic, saying the screenshot from a gacha game is equal to a diagnosis. But of course, you look at this person, 21 years old, do not interact if you're a pro shitter. I don't know what's more embarrassing, being a porn addict or someone who unironically uses the phrase pro shitter at the age of 21. But let's move on to this. I don't know. Wuthering Waves should only be for women. Seeing men thirst over Zanny is something. This person is trying to look you dead in the eyes and act like there's not women who thirst over gacha characters, whether male or female characters. Like, this is completely disingenuous. But here's another one saying, "Effing weirdo behavior." Come on, man. Like, they're not sending their best, dude. Here's another one saying, "Find a doctor plus go wash your ass. How can I say that I like Wuthering Waves when there are people like you? The only thing y'all care about is pornography." Well, again, I think this is a bit hyperbolic at the end here. It's just a screenshot from a gacha game that apparently you also play. But if you're scared to say you like a game because you're afraid of what people are going to think, are you really a fan? You sound like a tourist if you're that insecure about your interests. Like, you should be able to be proud about what you like and not have that affected by people that also play the game. Very strange behavior. And of course, the person complaining about fan service is someone whose entire account is retweeting fan service. I guess it's okay in this case because it's yaoi instead of what's in the original screenshot here. And we have another user here saying, "Ugly ass porn addicted 30-year-olds. That's not very nice. Boy Kisser 69. And I made the mistake of clicking on their account as well. And this one is way worse than the last one. It's just nothing but retweets of hardcore yaoi that I can't even show you in any capacity on YouTube. Like, again, the hypocrisy and the shamelessness of what these people are trying to say about other people is just mind-blowing. There is no self-awareness whatsoever. Then you have this person tagging another content creator in the gacha space saying, "This your oomph," meaning like this is someone you associate with. Like, we're trying to follow police people over a screenshot from a gacha game? Like, no, seriously, I wish I could put my hand on this person's shoulder and just tell them, you gotta let this go. Like, is there something wrong? Is there something going on in your life that's making you think that screenshots from a gacha game are worth cutting ties with other people? Like, this is the mentality you're working with right now. It's actually really sad. Let's move on to another one. This person said, I hope your girlfriend or mom or sister get exposed, babe. I pray to God every day for it. Well, I think this might be the saddest thing I've ever seen, praying for someone's relatives to have a downfall every single day. Also, just a little rule of thumb for the internet. Anyone who unironically calls strangers things like babe or sweetie in a condescending way are typically some of the most insufferable people you'll ever meet. And then you have this whole downfall of these people, gross behavior. I don't know why people take it to such extremes. We're talking about a gacha game. That's all we're talking about, and you're wishing downfalls on complete strangers. Here's another one saying, you stink, your followers stink, your life stinks, and I hope you don't get a partner in life. As I can say, once again, massive projection, but you've seen a theme in the last two tweets talking about a partner, a girlfriend, and stuff like that. I think you kind of know the logical conclusion of where this is going to go, but let's see some tweets focusing on that specific subject. This person said, how to say that women run away from you without saying it. Projection. Imagine being such a weird incel. Anyway, wow, incels much? So embarrassing. The insult of incel is something that's very strange, especially when people use it to kind of say like your point is bad because they're equating value of your opinion based on your sexual prowess. Like, it's a very odd thing when you really kind of break it down. And of course, with the use of incel, most of the time it's used on targets that are literally not incels by definition. But this person's trying to shame them for the screenshot with an account, their profile picture, their name, everything, dedicated to the Squid Girl anime, which, by the way, this is official arts from Squid Girl. Like, we're talking the same stuff here. So, like, if you're going to dedicate your entire online presence to this, I don't think you have the right to shame someone for taking a screenshot of fan service from Wuthering Waves. I think that makes you a hypocrite, and I don't think that's too bold of an opinion to share. Then this person says, get a effing life, bunch of stupid incels. No one likes you. You guessed it. Projection as usual. This person said, or tries to say, this is why you'll never get a girlfriend. Instead, you'll always be stuck with a effing bitch. Can someone in the comments section try to help me out here? Like, do you speak this language? Could you help translate whatever this person is trying to say? Because I literally have no clue what they're driving at with this. It's complete gobbledygook, okay? Here's another one saying, can Wuthering Waves incels stop bitching about someone's ass and talk about the game itself? Now, this is a very confusing and self-defeating tweet here. So, number one, they're implying that Fob is complaining about the fan service, which is the exact opposite. The only person in this scenario is this poster complaining about the fan service, which by their own definition would make them an incel. So not only are they wrong, they just own themselves for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Let's move on to another one. That's why you're not having sex or getting a girlfriend. Massive projection. Here's another one. Every incel that plays Wuthering Waves needs to blank, blank, blank actually. So they're saying KYS. They're telling people to off themselves over fan service in a gacha game. And, you know, it's like one thing, if you're going to say disgusting stuff like this, where it's very obvious what you're saying, at least have the fortitude, at least say it with your chest, you know, really actually say it instead of trying to censor it because you're afraid you might get in trouble with Twitter, which, by the way, Twitter doesn't do anything nowadays. It's just open season. But yeah, pretty pathetic. Here's another one saying, this is why you're never getting a effing girlfriend. And this one got the most attention out of all these sorts of comments. You can see almost 1 million views on this reply. Now, this will backfire greatly, all these comments, and you already knew it was coming, because Fob is in a relationship. In fact, if they actually went to his profile, it is the pinned tweets. It's the first thing you see on his account. These people spit this vitriol towards this individual, largely saying that he is an incel and he's unlovable and he never has a chance with women. They had the energy to do that, but they didn't have the energy to click on his profile for 1 second, literally 1 second before saying that stuff. That's really the kind of effort you see from these Twitter freaks who are so aggressive and toxic. They don't want to see reality. They don't want to look into this and see what's going on with this man's life. And of course, you'd also see this individual, Lily, who is the girlfriend, and she would leave this long post talking about this and saying this is ridiculous. And he's, she knows the type of man that he is, and it's disgusting to see what they're saying about him and what they're implying about her as a consequence as well. And she also had another tweet sharing some of the reactions to people finding out that he did in fact have a girlfriend. She made a big, mega compilation of it, and it was insane. Unfortunately, I don't have that right now because she did private her account in the last hour or so before I got to recording this. So unfortunately, we're not going to see that, at least right now, but we'll see some examples for ourselves. But I would imagine she went private due to the nonstop harassment she's been getting over her partner just posting some fan service from a gacha game. I mean, this is how ridiculous things have gotten. And let's see some more examples. So here's that one poster that got a lot of attention saying that he will never get a girlfriend. And this person says, how do we tell him? And then this user says, if that guy has a girlfriend, I'm very surprised. Who the F would want to date some ugly, disgusting incel like him? So even when faced with the fact that this guy has a girlfriend, they're still calling him an incel. And by the way, I should have said this a little bit sooner. This has happened to me a million times. I don't know, maybe you haven't seen any references to this. If you're on Twitter, you've definitely seen it, but maybe if you're just on YouTube, you haven't. I'm a happily married man, okay? And the amount of times I've been called an incel over stuff like this, or really anything, is insane. And I've had my wife literally reply to people calling me an incel saying, hello, wife here. And then they go, well, that's hardly any proof. Incels can be married too. It's like the amount of coping and seething it causes the people, because it's their number one gotcha. They try to say you're an incel, you're this lonely, pathetic dude. And then when they find out that you're actually in a relationship, it haywires their brain. It literally makes them go on to error mode. They don't know what to do at that point, so they just keep going with it, and they get even angrier, like this guy who's fuming. I got news for you. I'm not trying to psychoanalyze random Twitter users like this, but if this is how you're acting towards complete strangers over gacha fan service and finding out this guy that you wanted to attack is actually in a relationship, I have a very strong suspicion your life's not going too great. If this is the kind of way that you conduct yourself, I have bad vibes about what's going on with your own personal situations. But of course, this person says liking women equals incel now, huh? Wild. And they reply with this. This is somehow the craziest response out of this entire thread. This person says, are you effing stupid? When did I say that? This guy sexualizes women. Just look at the F-ass post. The fact that y'all were mad because they censored it in the first place is telling. So this person is unironically trying to chastise the original poster, Fob, for sexualizing fictional characters. In fact, it's not even really him, it'd be the developers of the game, and he's just taking a screenshot of that. We're trying to literally attack someone's character over how they treat a fictional character. Are we serious? I shouldn't be surprised at this point, but this is the type of lunacy, the certified Arkham Asylum type behavior that we see all the time with these people on Twitter. And here's another interaction from the original post where this person acknowledges they have a girlfriend, says, you have a girlfriend, by the way, trying to imply that he's doing something wrong by playing a gacha game. But this user says, she's there for the money, probably. And then the other person says, better than for love from a guy who doesn't reciprocate, I guess. Can we just pause for a second and understand how insane these people are? You have parasocialism on the one side where it goes beyond support into an unhealthy obsession. But I feel like this is kind of the flip side of the same coin. They're so obsessed with people they dislike on the internet. They're trying to make assumptions about their personal life and their personal relationships. And you're trying to say the reason why she's with this individual, and also you're trying to say that he can't give love back. What are you talking about? Genuinely, are you okay? Like, why are you so angry about this? And also, again, this claim up here that somehow this screenshot he shared is like an offense to his girlfriend. I got news for you, okay? If you're some extreme example, like you're addicted to gacha games and let's say even like adult content, it's like consumed your world. Yeah, you're in the wrong for that. That's going to damage your relationship. But if your relationship is so fickle that your girlfriend would be threatened by the characters in the gacha game you play, I think that's a massive red flag. Okay, people can still enjoy their lives and play gacha games and stuff like that while being in a relationship. Are we serious? Like, this is unbelievable. But things get even worse. So Fob would post this to dunk on the individual saying, does he know, right? And of course, the comments are so insane. There's a few positive ones like this one, and it just falls apart. This isn't the flex you think it is. What do you mean? They accused him of never having a girlfriend, and he shows that he has a girlfriend. It's not even really a flex. It's just a response, and you don't like it, so you're seething. She deserves so much better. What a very sane thing to say. I'm not shocked that literally nobody follows this account. That's kind of painful, not gonna lie. Let's see. I feel bad for her then. I feel bad for your wife. Also, we just talked about this person. They're here again. You're responding multiple times to this, getting increasingly angry as you find out your wild theories about their life are wrong. Like when you call them an incel. Interesting. Okay, congrats, but why are you talking about panties in a video game with a whole ass girlfriend? Again, if your relationship is going to be threatened by gacha game characters, wow, it's not going in a great route. Praying for her. Bet you're childless. This person, oh my God, I look at their account, right? They literally, they're posting from eating disorder Twitter, and you're trying to call someone childless and go after their relationship and their life. And then you got like these insults, like completely ridiculous. I mean, this whole situation, man, like Twitter in a nutshell, anything associated with gacha games on Twitter is a mess. These people play games that cater to fan service, and then when they see someone sharing that fan service, it makes them snap. And it turns them into some of the most vicious and disgusting people you will ever see, and that has been once again highlighted by this situation. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.